The Miller's Tale is told by the drunken miller, who was a lower-class member of society at the story's telling contest, wanting to follow up the upper-class knight's romantic story with an intense opposite tone shift. Instead of wanting to share a crude story about the shenanigans the lower class go through to hide an affair, with the messy realness compared to the knight's tale, despite trying to be down to earth and less pretentious, the knight is still being indirectly mocked and put down by the miller. Our leading lady, Allison, played by the Bluey. The old and decrepit husband, John, played by Barney. Poor Oxford student, Nicholas, played by Michael Mouse. The poor rejected simp, Absalom, played by Jake the dog. Allison is a young fair maiden who all the boys come hither to the yard. Her husband is a rich carpenter, but old and not satisfying. However, a young strapping Nicholas has been putting the moves on Allison, and she's super into it. John is aware of her beauty and is super jelly of all the younger men around. Nicholas, wanting to finally get the goods, makes a scheme. Nicholas deciding to trick John into believing biblical floods were upon us. They cleverly made lifeboats and packed food to prepare. Into the night, John falls asleep while Mickey and Allison sneak off to consummate their affair. But alas, Allison has another suitor who wishes to shoot his shot.
Is you is or is you ain't my baby? My baby found somebody new.
Allison, being cruel and witty, sets up a joke with Nicky. Allison leans her butt out the window for Absalom to kiss. Absalom leaves to the blacksmith. The blacksmith offers him a hot sphere. Absalom returns to ask for another kiss. This time, Nicky pulls down his pants and sticks his butt out the window. Getting poked by Absalom. Bonk. Causing Nicky to fall out the window. The commotion wakes John, causing his boat to tip over and fall as well. All the townspeople gather to stare at the pain he is in. The end. Yay! The historical context. The context of the Miller's story is reminiscent of locker room talk of the peasants as people are looking for the lowest humor to laugh at, especially when following up the romantic night with something so crude and explicit. The separation in class is very notable to the knight's romantic tale to a crude sexually driven tale without romance. With separation of the poor lifestyles from upper class to lower class, the accessibility to education on the arts is limited for this time period. The knight is clearly out of touch with the common folk's reality, with the peasants who require utilitarianism to get through a hard, long workday. The most common way to recharge is by a laugh. This is not to say they can't appreciate the arts, but the bandwidth for romance is larger than the immediate relief of comedy. Why this tale should win storytelling contest. The entertainment aspects of the Miller's Tale, the Salas, is the strongest aspect of the story. It's a screwball comedy with a lot of entertaining aspects. The sentence is the weakest, but that's the best part of the story. There isn't a moral, but a really funny story that happened. It almost feels like a gossiping tale of real people, the hijinks with a love rectangle of a woman, her husband, her lover, and her stalker, where all the men end up getting injured from fumbling with each other, both intentionally and unintentionally, and the more punchlines following back to back from each setup. The sentence is lacking as the story focuses on comedy, but like the partner's tale, there's a meta quality when looked at who is telling the story. The miller is a drunk and rambling. He wasn't focused on any moral, but getting the most reactions from the audience. If we're rating by audience enjoyment, then the miller's tale is for sure the winner, chicken dinner. In what ways is this story still relevant to today's audience, and how could it be modernized? Well, I'm glad you asked. This mimics and reminds me a lot of modern times, especially with situationship cultures and modern relationships. There is an authentic messiness to the story that just needs to be set up to modernize it. You probably need a trend that would distract John, probably having Allison live stream the whole situation as a vlog. Perhaps a get ready with me as I trick my hubby. The story is not award winning, but the humor is timeless. Another way this could be framed to get a full comedic effect would be getting a punked slash dating show where the characters have a very staged reality TV angles and video booths to have characters talking smack about one another, to give us an opportunity to hear the inner monologues and schemings, the thoughts that they have on the hijinks they just went through.